Hey guys, today I'm going to do a quick makeup look that is going to be suitable for party at home, and I have a lot of new products that I wanted to try here with you. I have tried actually all of them, but they are quite new. I also have a lot of new products that I recently tested, and a lot of you have been sending me messages and asking about these products and what I think about them. So in this video I'm going to update you about products that I recently started using. So let's go ahead and get started. If you're new, welcome. I love talking about luxury, beauty and fragrances. Please make sure to subscribe and become part of our lovely beauty community. If you're a returning, welcome back, dear friends. Let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to start with the new Gucci foundation that I recently started using, and I have a love-hate relationship with this foundation. I'm not sure if I love it. Sometimes I love it, sometimes I don't really enjoy it. Mainly because it's not very long wearing. So first, when I apply the foundation, I don't have the primer. But when I apply the foundation first, it looks very flawless and beautiful. And then it has a light scent. I don't know if I mentioned in my previous video, in my first impression review, but it has a light scent. It has a floral scent, which goes away quite quickly, but I'm not sure if I still love this foundation. And sometimes I feel like it's just not the best day for this foundation. And I don't think that this is acceptable for a high-end foundation. Next, I'm going to be using my Chanel concealer. I'm going to use just a couple of dots onto my eyelids and under my eyes, only on the places where I need, and I applied too much. So let me get you closer actually. And I did apply too much. I don't know why, but always when I'm in front of camera I tend to apply way too much product. Don't do like me. You only need a little bit of concealer. Concealer is quite heavy, quite dense product, so you only need a little bit. Don't use too much. Now I'm using some Chantecaille gel bronzer, and I'm only doing a couple of dots, like a few dots here and there, and I'm going to blend this with fingers, maybe a little bit with the brush, just to add some. I like my nose to be a little bit darker, just a fraction. And then because the Gucci foundation is very light, I'm just going to conceal this two very famous spots. If you're following me for a while, you know that I got this because I was using a product from Sunday Riley and I got really bad breakouts, and these two left marks. They healed, but still left very unpleasant marks, which sometimes if the foundation is too light, like the Gucci foundation, I always try to hide them because they're not very pleasant. Next, I'm going to use the Gucci powder that I had, and a lot of you have been asking me what I think. You know that I'm mesmerized by this beautiful packaging. The packaging is a little bit vintage, which always attracts me. I love vintage in any possible way. Like, I love vintage design, I love vintage furniture, and I really love this vintage design from Gucci. And I'm only using it, I'm keeping the Gucci pattern, so I'm only using it, the powder, on the sides because I want to keep the pattern for some reason. I'm using a flat brush. So a lot of you have been asking me about this Gucci powder. I like it, but I think that I like very much this packaging and the vintage feel when I apply this powder. Packaging really is huge with luxury makeup, but it's not my favorite powder. No, guys, if I had to choose, like, I still think that if you have like a decent makeup collection, if you have a good makeup collection, like with a few powders, this could be one of your powders. It's very light, but it doesn't make it into my... The packaging attracts me so much and I'm blinded by the packaging. But if I have to assess honestly the product inside, not one of my favorites. Gucci could have done much better here. Okay, so now I'm gonna brush my brows and fill them in gently with the only product basically that I use for my brows, and this is the Dior Powder Brow Pencil. I think this one is very underrated because it is a powder brow kohl brow pencil, and it looks very natural because when it's a powder kohl, it always mimics hair and it looks very natural. So here we have brows done. Next, a lot of you have been asking me to use on camera this Sisley bronzer. And I know, guys, from you, actually, some of you told me that this one is not great if you have deeper skin tone. Like, it works for fair and medium skin tone, but it doesn't work for deeper skin tone. For my skin tone, it works. It doesn't look the best possible way. Like, I have a feeling that this one works for medium fair, medium light skin tones. It doesn't work perfectly for my skin, but I still like the effect because it has that glowy finish. It gives my skin kind of a sun-kissed look with a glowy finish. So let's go ahead and apply this. A little bit here and here. I just want, now I'm not going for a bronzed look, and I don't like very much bronzer, but I just want to show you how it looks so that you can see how it's on my skin tone. I wouldn't say it pulls orangey, but you can see that it's not my perfect shade. I applied way too much, but I hope that you're going to be able to see. So here you can see how it looks. So you can see that it actually brings color to my face, but I definitely have to be light-handed, otherwise it's going to be too dark for me. So this is a almost universally flattering shade, but if you are not too dark or if you're not too pale like me, if you're pale like me, you can still make it work, but you have to be very light-handed. So I like the effect, and when I look at myself in the mirror, I like this beautiful sheen that this powder has. Now onto eyes, and I have a new product. This is brand new from Charlotte Tilbury, and this is the Hollywood Flawless Eye Filter Luxury Palette. They were just released, and I have been obsessed with this palette. This one and the other one that I have, it's a new formulation from Charlotte Tilbury, but I absolutely love it and I have been obsessed. So I'm going to be using this color here. I have been obsessed with this one. I'm trying to keep the patterns, the beautiful patterns. So the formulation of the eyeshadows is different. They are very thin, but you can see that one swipe of the brush and it has like almost like full coverage. So you still get the beautiful quality of Charlotte Tilbury eyeshadows. They feel a little bit hard, so when I first touched these eyeshadows, I thought, oh my gosh, this is not going to be good. This is not a good quality. But then I started using them and I am absolutely obsessed because these eyeshadows are inspired by the social media filters, and they really create such beautiful shimmery effects, and the light catches beautifully the shimmers, and the matte colors are luminous matte, and I absolutely love them. So I'm just going to apply this color all over my eyelid, and then I'm going to blend. Same color goes on my lower lash line, only the outer part of my lower lash line. Okay guys, so I want to have that a little bit more elongated look of the eye, and that's why I took the liner of my lower lash line just a little bit upwards like this, and then I'm creating a V shape, and this is something that I want, just a different effect, just a different look. And now I'm taking a clean brush and I'm just diffusing the edges here to make the look a lot softer. And I only used one color, I didn't add anything else. I'm just blending, and the color is a little bit darker on the outer part of my eye and a little bit lighter and more blended in the inner corner. So I only used one color, but I just blended a little bit more in the inner corner. Then I want to go ahead and apply this champagne color in the inner corners of my eyes, just to add some light there. But this is only going to be in the inner corner of the eye. Next, I'm taking the matte black color and I'm going to apply this only on the outer part of my upper lash line. And I'm always taking the color on my hand because I don't want to have too much color on my brush. And I'm just slightly applying the color right here. And also on my lower lash line. And then I'm blending because I want to diffuse everything. Then I'm going to comb my eyelashes and apply plenty of mascara, and that's going to be for the eyes. So this is with the mascara on, and I think that I would normally apply black liquid eyeliner, but this time I'm going to skip. So now I need a classic red lipstick, and then I'm going to move on to blush and highlighter. And for lips, I'm going to be using my current favorite, which is from the House of Sillage. And this is going to be in Magical, and it comes in the limited edition mini bowl lipstick case. So this is a classic red color. Next, for blush, I'm going to be using the Chantecaille Butterfly Bliss, and it doesn't have the butterfly anymore because I have been using it a lot this year since I got this blush. It has been one of my most used blushes, so I couldn't keep the butterfly. It comes with a very pretty design, which I've shown on my Instagram a few times. And when I'm wearing a red lip, I always like to apply the blush last because everything comes together, and if you have a red lip, then you can really see how much blush you need. And usually if you have very pale skin like me, if you're wearing a red lip, you will need a little bit more blush than usual. And last but not least, moving on to highlighter, and I'm going to be using the Camellia highlighter from Chanel. I'm using the same brush that I used for my powder. And I'm going to apply this right here on the high points. Just lightly on the bridge of my nose. And I think this is the finished look. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for joining me in this video. I really appreciate your time. Please give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you in my next video. Take care. Bye.